You know that I love people. My favorite people are our unsung heroes, the people that make a difference in our lives and our community every day. These people work tirelessly in the background, behind the scenes, and are rarely recognized for their contribution. These are the ones that make our communities a better place to live, work, and play. They're not working for recognition. They're not working for a reward. They're just quietly making a difference. If you know someone like this, please give me a call at 256-245-8585. Also, I need sponsors for my show. My sponsors get fantastic advertising rates, very affordable. If you're interested in being one of my sponsors, give me a call. This week we will be focusing on a very special man, Neil Harris. Neil is the manager at the Home Depot here in Sylacauga. I met Neil a few years ago, but you don't have to be around him very long to know that he is a very special man. He never meets a stranger, and he's very outgoing, and he loves animals too. Neil is always getting involved with helping others and making a difference wherever he goes and with whatever he does. When we return from a word from my sponsors, we will be joined by Neil Harris. Whatever you do, don't touch that remote. We'll be right back.
Everybody rides. That's right. Everybody rides at Coosa Valley Motor Company. Do you need a good used car, truck, or van? How about a good used ATV? Well, come on out and see Brad Forge or Joe Richardson at Coosa Valley Motor Company. Flexible financing plans to fit your budget. Whatever your vehicle needs, Brad and Joe will have it, or they can find it for you. Located between Sylacauga and Childersburg on Highway 280. We're open afternoons, evenings, and weekends for your car shopping and convenience. Call 249-3560, Coosa Valley Motor Company, where everybody rides.
You ever wonder what's in your future? Well, if you ask me, my Popeye's ripping chicken is in your future, honey. You're probably saying, what is she talking about? Well, I cut a boneless chicken breast into big strips, marinated in 4 different peppers and Louisiana seasoning, and fry it up spicy. I call it ripping chicken, because you just rip it and dip it. And right now, you can get my spicy ripping chicken, fries, a biscuit, and ranch dipping sauce for just $3.99. She sees ripping chicken in your future, honey, and the future is today. Louisiana fast.
Do you love Italian cuisine? Well, you need to visit Giovanni's Italian Restaurant located at Highway 280 and Quarry Road in Sylacauga. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. They offer a daily lunch buffet. Their menu is packed with so many delicious choices: meats, vegetables, pastas, pizza, soups, salads, desserts, and much more. I love their pork and marinara sauce, their carved meats, lasagna, Alfredo, ham roll, and seafood dishes. I just can't possibly name them all. If you're in a hurry, they have a pickup window, and they cater. Hey, you even get a 10% discount if you tell them that you heard about them right here on Making a Difference with Debi Jacobson. 10%. Welcome back, everybody, and now I'm talking with my friend, Neil Harris. Neil, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Debbie. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Well, thank you for coming. I knew when we did the interview the other day on Daybreak, that was fun, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to get out and talk about the ARF and just spend a little time with you. You've always had just such a positive attitude. And so I like being around people with positive attitudes. So
well, thank you.
I appreciate you inviting me on today.
Well, it's my pleasure. And I'll tell you what, for the people that don't know you, why don't you tell them a little bit about Neil Harris?
Well, I'm Neil Harris. I'm the store manager at the Sylacauga Home Depot. I've been there now this month, maybe 2 years today, maybe. So I've been back. So yeah, so that's pretty exciting. I just thought about that. So
wow, how about that?
Yeah, so that's pretty neat. So I was fortunate to come back. I was born and raised in Sycamore, Alabama.
So, well, I thought you were from here.
Yeah. So just about 10 minutes down the road, my family. I grew up a couple miles out, like I mentioned on Daybreak last week. A couple miles out in the woods. My family has some land out there, and so I grew up, lived 30 years out there, and then moved to Sylacauga for a couple of years, and actually been able to move back out to Sycamore. Had the opportunity to take advantage of that, and so moved back out there. And so throughout the years, with Home Depot, I started in Birmingham, and just to tell you a little bit about me and kind of what I've done, I've started in the Birmingham area, and then I was fortunate enough to be able to come back as the assistant store manager of the store and ran kind of the 3 different areas that the assistant managers have responsibility for.
And that's Inverness,
I started in
one
the
of
Inverness
them?
store, right?
Pell City, is that the?
Pell City's one of them.
Okay.
There's Oxford and Fairfield and Hoover and Eastwood.
So your regions, not specific.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. I started in the Birmingham district. Yeah, and
Goodness.
so I was pretty fortunate to be able to get promoted as an assistant store manager, and came to Sylacauga, which was kind of neat because over the last 13 years or so, a large majority of that was working in Birmingham. So that commute, as you can imagine, was, not the most fun.
No,
So it was good to be able to have just a short commute, and then
wow.
So in 2008, I was asked to go back to Birmingham to help one of the stores up there, and so I did, and then I was very fortunate to be able to come back as the store manager here back in 2010. So.
Well, we are pleased to have you back, because actually, Neil, when you came back, you jumped right into the community, and that's huge. A lot of people don't take the time to do that, but now you have. You're out there.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things. Our company was founded on 8 core values, and those values, one of them was giving back.
Yeah.
And then we have another one that says do the right thing. And so, with the giving back aspect of it,
and that's even on your emblem.
It is on our value.
Yeah, it sure is.
And so that Bernie Marcus and Arthur Blank came up with that in 1979, and so it's things that we live by. And that was one of the things when I interviewed for the store manager position that I talked about, was giving back and to do what we could do as a store, because I think that. We can always do more, and I think if everybody just kind of had the mindset of we can do more and to do what you can. Sometimes people don't understand why we can and can't do certain things, and while we would like to be able to help everybody, we try to say, well, who really has a need, and help with that need. And so giving back's important, giving back's very important.
It is. Well, tell us about your family. You have children?
I do. My wife's name is Stephanie. She works for the Home Depot as well. She actually works in Birmingham. Yeah, so.
Okay. All in the family.
Yeah,
huh?
Right. Well, it gets even deeper here in a minute with a brother, but.
Joe.
Yeah.
I love Joe.
So yeah, everybody knows Joe, the door guy. So. He's down at the Alex City Home Depot now. So
now he can't work for you, right? Because I know when he left, we were so upset about him leaving. He said, "It'll be okay. It's my brother."
Yeah. So he was willing to transfer, and so I could take advantage of the opportunity. And so I have a daughter that's 5. Her name's Hardy, and then I have 2 stepdaughters, Summer and Gracie, who are 7 and 4. So, and then as we talked last week, I have the cat. So, so I'm infiltrated with females. So, but it's a good thing. So I have 2 brothers. Dallas, which operates the Tire Lubin Express at Walmart. He runs the shop outside. A lot of people know him. And then I have, like you said, my brother Joe, which now works in Alexander City. So no sisters. So
no sisters.
Grew up with
and then you have girls.
Yeah, so it's really interesting to see how that happens. So.
Wow.
But,
well, now you've been in retail for a while in the retail management side. You were with Walmart.
I have.
Also, weren't you?
Right, that's correct. When I was with Walmart. I've been in retail though since I was 18.
Goodness,
so going on 17 years now in this business. And since I was 19, I've been in some form of management since I was 19. And that was an hourly supervisor level. And then I guess my first salaried manager position was when I was 20. So been a salaried manager for about 14 years, kind of doing that, and really enjoying it. I remember growing up thinking, man, there's no way I could work with people. It just, I don't know how to talk to people.
Were you shy?
Well, not necessarily shy. I just didn't think that I could really do it, and so my first job was at Little Caesars, when it was across town next to Bill Forrest, next to Subway. Not Bill Forrest, excuse me, next to Farmers Insurance.
Oh, okay, Scott Hamlet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it was in that shopping center, so that tells you how many years ago that's been, because that's been a while. So, but I worked there for my first job, and then went to Walmart and progressed with them. Started off at, a lot of people say they start off at the bottom with pushing carts, but I think that really taught me a lot. as far as what it meant.
It's important to understand the business.
Yeah, and it helps with understanding, you know, every position and understanding what that person goes through.
That's right. That's right.
One thing that I've seen just over the years in retail is people that come in maybe straight out of college. They're faced with a lot of adversity because they've never really been involved in that, and that's something that school really doesn't teach them.
It doesn't.
So, but yeah, worked for Walmart for right at 9 years, a little under 9 years, and so that really helped me, right? The mecca that it is. And so that really taught me a lot, and so I've been pretty fortunate now to be with the Home Depot almost 8 years.
Wow, so, 8 years.
Yeah, so it's
Goodness. Well, we were really blessed to get this store in Sylacauga. I know that was, there might have been some opposition for it, but I mean, that right out there on the highway, I don't guess I've ever ridden by and you've had a small crowd there at any time.
Unless it rains like yesterday. Yesterday wasn't too good for us, but overall it's great. You know, the business is going well for us.
And when that sun is out, everybody comes out and ready to do yard work.
Yeah, it's a neat thing, and you know, it's fun to see us be able to make people's dreams kind of come true. And you know, the housing market that we're in is not the best, and you know, since 2008, things have really taken a downward spiral for a lot of Americans. You know,
they really have. One thing that you offer, and I'm assuming it's your store. I know you do it, but if you don't know how to do something, you try to instruct on how to do it to help people save money. I mean, you're really part of that economic driver that helps the person help themselves.
Right, and that's a good point, because that is something we try to do. Because like I said last week, not everybody can afford to pay someone to come out. And so,
not at those hourly rates.
Right, and the one thing that we've had that's been said about our store is we have such knowledgeable associates.
You do.
The people from electrical to flooring to paint to building materials. I mean,
and they go through a training process to be knowledgeable. I mean, it's not just, you know, this is what I learned growing up. It's this is what I've learned, plus you know, I've been taught in this direction.
Right, and you know, they kind of put a little bit of Home Depot spin on it, you know, if you will. But what we've tried to do is to bring people in that have a knowledge,
familiar with that area.
And so we really we were talking about it the other day, and we could really build your house from the ground up. We have people that have that kind of knowledge, and so. You know, we pride ourselves, especially our store, really pride ourselves on knowledgeable associates, because there's nothing more frustrating than you going somewhere and saying, well, hey, how do I do this? And, you know, I don't know. You know, I'll read the box for you. Well, that doesn't always help.
That doesn't help you.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm a big box reader, because I don't know the ins and outs of electrical and things like that, but you learn as you go along. And so very fortunate to have the associates we have, and the knowledge of the associates. I mean, that's really, you can't put a price tag on that of what they can teach you.
One thing that you've done, as I said before, is you've jumped into the community. You're on the board at the Chamber of Commerce.
I am. I was fortunate enough to have that
What
opportunity.
area? What portion are you in?
With new membership.
New membership.
So is what I was put on, and you know, it's an exciting thing. I wish you know, there's a lot of time involved in what I do, you know, as a job, and I wish I could get more involved with different things like the ARF. I know you and I have talked about that, and getting involved with that. So I'm on the board there. I'm also part of the Civitan organization, which is really a great organization to be involved with. Does a lot of charitable work to actually get in there. I
know I mentioned to Celeste Landers that you wanted to be on a board that worked.
Right.
And I said, you know, worked, build something, I think is the way you said it. And I told her, but she jumped all over it. So you're going to be getting a call from Habitat.
All right. Well, I'll be, yeah, that'd be great. I can't wait to hear from her, because, you know, it's just, again, if we just go, and I know it seems so simple, but if we can just get involved, if people can get involved, and that's why, you know,
one person and then others.
Right, because you know, you said, you know, the whole title of your show, Making a Difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just one person with an idea, And I think if everybody can just say, you know what, I can contribute.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that'll watch the show, and a lot of people everywhere that, you know, well, I can't make a difference. Well,
yes, you can.
You can.
Yes, you can.
And I know that seems, again, so simple, but it's really
a great.
Yeah, just
it's a great way to live.
Together. Yeah, like minds coming together and saying, you know what, here's a need. Let's see if we can fulfill the need. And so, as you talk about what we try to do at the store, you know, we try to make it as simple as we can for the customer, and just try to help them. You know, there's been times where an elderly customer will come in and they can't put something together, or they can't lift something. And so I've worked it out. You know, we can't do it to every single person like we wish we could.
No, but you can help.
Here's an elderly lady, and she's buying a new patio set or something. You know, wants the deck of her house to look nice, and we've gone out and we've assembled things like that. And just little things that.
And a lot of times
really
that's
matter.
volunteer too.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I mean it's always volunteer. You know, I just say, hey, you know, go ask one.
How
of my
many
folks.
times a day are we up there? 5, 6?
A lot. So you know, it's just there's nothing wrong with helping someone.
It's not.
And
it's not.
you know, my associates, so I have to give all the credit to them, because you know, all I can do is kind of throw an idea out there, and really it's whether or not if they bite on it, you know. And so
because you have to feel it.
Yeah, and they've been more than willing to, you know, hey, can you help out this? Yeah, I'll be glad to go out there, and that's what is really warming to me, is that people that are willing to help just out of the good nature of themselves.
That's right. So. That's right. Well, I tell you what, let's take a break here, and when we come back, I'm going to talk about some of the things you've done for ARF.
Great.
Because you stick with us, and we'll be right back after these words from my sponsors.
Everybody rides at Coosa Valley Motor Company. Do you need a good used car, truck, or van? How about a good used ATV? Well, come on out and see Brad Porch or Joe Richardson at Coosa Valley Motor Company. Flexible financing plans to fit your budget. Whatever your vehicle needs, Brad and Joe will have it, or they can find it for you. Located between Sylacauga and Childersburg on Highway 280. We're open afternoons, evenings, and weekends for your car shopping convenience. Call 249-3560, Coosa Valley Motor Company, where everybody rides.
You ever wonder what's in your future? Well, if you ask me, my Popeye's ripping chicken is in your future, honey. You're probably saying, what is she talking about? Well, I cut a boneless chicken breast into big strips, marinated in 4 different peppers and Louisiana seasoning, and fried up spicy. I call it ripping chicken, because you just rip it and dip it. And right now, you can get my spicy ripping chicken, fries, a biscuit, and ranch dipping sauce for just $3.99. She sees ripping chicken in your future, honey, and the future is today. Louisiana fast.
Do you love Italian cuisine? Well, you need to visit Giovanni's Italian Restaurant, located at Highway 280 and Quarry Road in Sylacauga. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. They offer a daily lunch buffet. Their menu is packed with so many delicious choices: meats, vegetables, pastas, pizza, soups, salads, desserts, and much more. I love their pork and marinara sauce, their carved meats, lasagna, Alfredo, ham roll, and seafood dishes. I just can't possibly name them all. If you're in a hurry, they have a pickup window, and they cater. Hey, you even get a 10% discount if you tell them that you heard about them right here on Making a Difference with Debi Jacobson. 10%. You know, we were talking behind the scenes, and Neil has lived in what I consider large metropolitan areas. What made you want to come back here and raise your family?
Well, you know, Sylacauga was home. You know, it's where I was raised, and I think that as we talked about the giving back piece to it, I think there was probably, you know, in bigger cities you always have people doing things. And I think in smaller towns like Sylacauga, there's always there's a need, for someone to help. And so, you know, we've got a great school system here.
We do.
We have a lot of good things going on. And I think that, you know, so many times the answer is we'll just leave to bigger and better. You know, let's go do something else. And I think that, you know, let's bring them. Let's go back home and stay there. You know, I mean, because at the end of the day, if everybody leaves, I mean, then you've just got a town with, you know, that nobody's here.
Nobody's here,
doing anything.
and your individuality is lost in a bigger town. To me,
Right.
you feel more like a number, or you're overwhelmed. But here, you're a person. Everybody knows your name.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's kind of like Cheers. Like the
Yeah.
show. I mean,
Well, yeah,
it feels
it
good
is.
for when customers come in and you can call them by name
Yeah.
when you know them and when
Yeah.
they know you, and that's to me that's just a good feeling. So.
Well, we're so glad to have you back, Neil.
Thank
you. When you make an impact, at the end of the day, you think, I feel good about it. I
Right.
feel good about it, and you know there'll be another opportunity tomorrow.
Right.
Where there might
Exactly.
not be one, when you're just a number.
Right. Exactly.
That's huge. That accomplishment, that self-fulfillment, and home.
Right.
Just being home.
Yep. It's a good feeling.
It is.
It is.
It is. Well, now I want to talk a little bit about what all you've done with ARF or for ARF, and not just the workshop, but look at the air conditioning needs that we had last year, and y'all really came through for us on that.
Well, that was kind of a conjoined effort, right, with ourselves and then with Adam Hodnett and Affordable Heating and Air, and Stephen King really helping us out from the electrical side.
And you're the one that helped us get him, because we didn't know him.
Well, that's one of the good things about where we work.
You're
I
loaded
know-
with contractors.
Yeah, I
aren't
have
you?
plenty of contacts when it comes to that. And the great thing with it was, I was told about it. I was actually on vacation, and when I got back from vacation, I had an email that says from a coworker of mine, "Hey, we need to talk about this." And so I actually pulled up what I believe the Birmingham station had talked about, or the article that it ran. And so I said, well, we've got to do something about that. And so, I don't know what we could do, but we've got to do something, And so what we decided to do, we came to that board meeting that night, and we're hearing about animals dying and stuff, and Debbie got emotional on us, and
I cried.
and so
I got a new nickname out of that deal too.
I
didn't
believe so. And so, we decided that we're going to do something, and so Adam helped us out with the units, and then we kind of headed up the supplying of the material needed, and so it was a much needed thing that who wants to see an animal go in those kind of conditions, and whatever the circumstances may have been to get to that stage, right? It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
What mattered is there's a need that we need to try to help with.
That's right. And a lot of times you can look at a person and tell from the way they treat their animals or their kids or the elderly what kind of person that is.
Sure.
And y'all stepped up as a company, to help us, and we were so grateful.
Well, it was.
And you see us all the time, don't you?
Well, one of the things that I believe you said in your intro is we don't do it for the recognition.
No.
And that's the thing about it is if you go into something expecting recognition, then
Yeah.
what's the point? What's the point in doing it? What's the point in helping?
I know sometimes you get a pat on the back, sometimes you don't, and my son has a tendency to pat me on the head.
Pat you on the head. Well,
because he's so tall.
Right. Well, at the end of the day,
I'm proud of you, Mom.
It's just the feeling in your
It
heart.
is. It
that you get,
absolutely is.
Of
It absolutely
being able
is.
to see smiles on people's faces, and that's really the most beneficial
And
part for me.
speaking of smiles, we've partnered up with First Saturday with
Right.
your organization, and it has brought a lot of smiles to a lot of children's faces.
It has. It's been better than I thought we could have imagined.
Yeah, and Joe Hogan actually helped us with this, and
Yeah.
when he approached me, I thought, "Are you serious?
Right.
Is this a trick question?"
Right. Well, Joe came to me and he
Yeah.
said, "Hey, what do you think about it?" I'm like, "Let's do it, man. I'm
Yes.
all about it. Let's see what we can do." And I'm glad that it's worked out.
Oh, it
So,
has.
I'm-
Tell them a little bit about the First Saturdays.
Well, first Saturday of the month, like we kind of discussed it last week on Daybreak, right? We have the kids workshop, which is from 9 to 12, and we bring out the Animal Rescue Foundation
Yeah,
for
our best.
to come out, and they bring the cats and dogs, and not all of them, but some of them, and we build different things like the race car and the bird house and the bug box and different things, and
Yeah.
it's really a good time for the kids. And it's really a fun time for the parents too that bring them, and the kids are really some of them are really loyal. I mean, the first Saturday of every
do.
month,
Yeah,
here they
they're
come
gonna be
with,
the
with
little
their kids'
aprons
workshop
on.
apron with their name and their buttons, and that's really a fun time. And so then when they get finished with there, or maybe before they come in, they go and they play with the animals and things.
That's awesome
and,
too.
Have a good time. And so I understand they've adopted some.
Yes,
from,
yes. The first one that we had, there was 7. Then the next one was 2, and I think we've already had 2 from this one, and still others inquiring from that. So, it's just worked out perfectly, just wonderfully.
It's been a good thing. It's just it's a lot of excitement that goes around with it.
You can feel it that day. And it's like, what are y'all doing here? Well, let me take a look.
Yeah,
exactly. Where you've put us by the contractor, and it couldn't be more perfect.
Right. So it's worked out, and so along with that, we have the different clinics that go on throughout the day that we try to have. As we talked about in the first segment about teaching people how to do things.
Well, y'all are truly making a difference, Neil. That's just we just value you and your company, Home Depot, so much. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Out of all your career, volunteer, civic work, what do you feel is your greatest accomplishment, or what has meant the most to you? Is there one thing that stands out?
There's a lot of things that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of with the company. I would say probably the biggest thing is I love the store that I'm in. I love the associates that we have. And to be able to see them come together and to do the things that we've done as a store. Because I tell them all the time, this store will run a whole lot longer without me than it will without you.
That's awesome.
That's very true. And I think a lot of times managers don't think about that. They're the end-all be-alls, and that's not the way I try to run my store. And
that's the difference, though.
Yeah, I'll never try to be that way, because it's I've got somewhere around 87 associates right now that come into work every day. That they try to make a difference in people's lives and with helping people. And I think that, I don't know if I would call that an accomplishment, but I'm glad to be associated with those people, because at the end of the day, they make my life a whole lot better.
And they become family.
Yeah,
it's like one big family.
Well, that's something that my district manager, he's based out of the Auburn store. And he comes up every once in a while, but that's one of the things that he said, is that this store truly feels like it's a family type environment. You walk in
and you feel it.
Yeah, and
you do.
That's to me, that's important. To where you're kind of like you talked about, when you're in the bigger area, you're just the customer, you're just the number.
Just a number.
Instead of
and I've been in stores and they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care if you get it or not. You can sit it back down and walk out, and it's like, whatever.
Well, and we I'm not going to sit here and try to make you believe we're perfect, and say, well, we do everything right, because we don't. But what I will tell you is that, we try to make things right if we do fail you. Because unfortunately that happens, but it's not our intent.
No.
We try to.
But that still takes great leadership and motivational skills, because you have motivated your people to the point where they care about everybody. Yeah. It's very obvious.
Well, I appreciate that, but again, at the end of the day, I think they have to buy into it.
Yeah.
You have to be.
That's the family part.
Right. That's willing to, because they'll tell you if they were here. When things aren't right, hey guys, we got to get together and we got to fix this.
That's right.
But you know what? They buy in, and they're like, you're right, and they do it. And that's the greatest thing to me, is this the relationship we have as a store.
Yeah.
And I think the relationship that I think they have with the community.
I agree. I agree. Definitely make a difference.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining me on my show. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for what you do in the community, Neil, and Home Depot.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you'll come back next week for another exciting guest from our very own community. Remember, this is Making a Difference with Debi Jacobson. Until next time, bye-bye.